As parents, there's always a compromise, isn't there? We choose work and we have money, but we miss out on time with the family. Or we choose family and we have time, but then we have to do without financially. Either way, we lose. Let's hear from four fabulous young parents who've chosen both time and money thanks to UW. So, first up is Evan. Evan joined UW in September. He's an FTL with 16 personal customers and 38 group customers. He's achieved all the Christmas incentives, has already qualified for Budapest, and has set himself a target to achieve TL by the end of this month. So, Evan, over to you. Can you please tell us a bit about you and your background?
Thanks, Gemma. Happy New Year all. I live in a small village just outside Cardiff. I'm a single dad. I adopted my son on my own about 13 years ago. So as you can imagine, my life is pretty busy. I have a great job as an IT director for a college in Cardiff. And last year, unfortunately, I did have to pull out of a promotion opportunity as I just didn't know how I was going to have a healthy work-life balance as well as be a dad. And now UW has come into our lives to fill that gap.
So you were initially a customer referral from your mum, Evan, weren't you? But saving money wasn't much interest, was it? What attracted you to becoming a partner?
Well, yeah, my mother really had to twist my arm, to be a referral for them. I really didn't want anybody coming around to see whether I could save money as I switched constantly. As a dutiful son, I agreed for this woman called Claire to come to my house back in September. I'm so glad she did. As the presentation came along, I could see that it was really an advantage of everything under one roof, one password, one bill, etc. And that would really work for us. When we got to the end slide and I saw the money, I thought, oh, this is great. Perhaps I could buy my son that new iPhone he's always wanted. And as the residual income was explained to me, I started to get excited because I could see how that could really change our lives, how maybe I could take a day off work and be a better father, how I could have take my pension earlier, and maybe my son would take over the business with me, and if not, there was some financial security for him going forward. And then I saw the incentives, and I couldn't believe that the company would be giving us all these extra bits on top. The Christmas dinner, the Christmas hamper, and the vouchers really got me excited. And as they arrived through December, I've got to say, it made a really, really different Christmas this year, very special for the two of us. So we're very excited about Budapest, and I'm going to be working hard over the next few months so that we can both go to Mexico together.
That's amazing, Evan. And as a super busy dad, how has the remote appointment system benefited you?
Well, I love it from my background in IT, but I don't think I would have achieved half of what I have without it. I may have been able to do one appointment face-to-face, 2 a week. I certainly would have been doing 2 appointments on a weeknight and 3 or 4 on a Saturday, and I wouldn't have picked up customers in Scotland, London, Wiltshire, and a partner in Swansea and a partner in Neath. Now I can sit at home around the kitchen table chatting to people for an hour, and if my son needs anything, I'm there for him straight away.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Evan. Right, now, so next up is Keris. Keris joined us at the end of November. She's a QD with 8 customers and 4 partners. She was one of the 200 top qualifiers for the December promotion, bagging herself a signed book, and is halfway to qualifying for Budapest as well. So, Keris, can you tell us a little bit about your background, please?
Hiya, I'm Keris. I'm 25. I'm from a little town called Cwmbran. I'm a full-time PA support worker, and I'm mum to my daughter Aria, who's 3.
And why did you decide to join UW?
I joined as a customer first, and then decided after watching the UW stories about the extra income that I needed really a better work-life balance. I work 7 days a week as it is, and I miss out on so much with my little girl that, the mum guilt is agonising, and anyone that's got kids, they can relate to that, there's no time. And I knew I had to make a change somewhere, and UW was it.
And I can empathise with you there. And as a busy mum, Cerys, who also suffers from social anxiety, how have you made this business work for you?
I could have made my challenges an excuse, really, but I chose to make them a reason to succeed. Otherwise, nothing will ever change for me. You know, I was scared stiff, but with the help and encouragement from yourself, Jem, and UW, I'm overcoming my fears every day with this. I've had to be organised, being so busy, but I always managed to fit in 2 appointments a day, and it's actually a personal goal of mine to have an appointment a day. And to be honest, if I don't meet that target, I'm actually tampering with myself. You know, I think the remote sign up has made everything a lot easier for me. And half the time I've got Aria sat on my lap, you know, which, you know, is okay.
And the dog.
And the dog, yeah, always the dog.
It's a family affair most times.
Yeah,
So you've had a great start, Cerys. Was it all plain sailing?
definitely not, no. My first week I had 13 appointments booked. I was like, brilliant. 12 of them cancelled, and the appointment I actually had was a no. But within my second week, I started to get success, and in my third week, a lot more customers. But since then, you know, some have cancelled, and one partner cancelled, which did knock me back.
So that must have been difficult to take on board. How have you managed to cope with these disappointments?
Well, I give you a ring, Gem, and I have a bit of a wobble, and then I find then that we have the same disappointments and that it's normal. You know, we do have setbacks and it's just what it is. I listened to Jim Ron and he's taught me about the numbers and that every no will lead to a closer yes eventually. And now I understand that failure is a good thing and it's part of success. And I actually look for the no's now.
Amazing. Great tip there. Thank you, Cerys. Now we're going over to Chelsea. Chelsea joined us in October. She's a QD with 7 customers and 3 partners on board, and she's qualified for the Christmas dinner and the hamper too. So, Chelsea, can you please tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, thanks, Gemma. So, I work as a healthcare support worker for the Learning Disabilities team, and since having my little boy, who's now 3, when I returned back to work, I decided I needed to reduce my hours to 30 hours. So for us, that meant taking a cut in my income, as well as paying for the extra childcare fees. This led to my partner Dan working most weekends on top of his long days during the week as a DPD driver to make up for our loss of income. And as a result, we spent less time together as a family, and I was getting very little time to myself.
And why did you decide to join UW, Chelsea?
So basically, Dan met Robin while he was delivering parcels, and Robin had asked him a few times if he wanted to save money and earn money. So Dan saw the pound signs and thought yes, but then he later realised that it actually involved doing a little bit of work and passed the buck to me. So that's how I've ended up with it. But I had a lot of questions at the start and thought it all seemed a bit too good to be true. Why wasn't everyone doing this? But then we started our journey, and we were hoping that this is going to allow us more family time, as the UW money was enough to cover Dan's weekend shifts, so he was going to be home on the weekends. And looking ahead, this opportunity will hopefully allow us to extend our family, where I'm able to be off on maternity leave and not have to worry about finances, and hopefully get us on the property ladder, because we're currently renting at the moment and it's hard to save while you're renting, so that's what the goals are.
You've got a great why there, haven't you? So how has UW helped you during lockdown, Chelsea?
I think UW came at the right time for me during lockdown. Things were getting a bit the same every night, you know, no plans, just routine with the little warm bed. Social contact wasn't the same from work when we're working from home. And this opportunity forced me to reach out to people for conversations, my friends and my family. And then we started with the presentations, which they became fun, they were light-hearted, and it was a positive distraction for me because my full-time job is quite difficult at the moment, and it felt good to be able to help people, And I just think that lockdown has given us a fantastic opportunity in the team to explore new things, embracing modern technology, and being able to do this business from the comfort of my own home is a massive bonus with the family and trying to juggle the little one. So yeah, it's been a really good positive for me.
Amazing positive there, yeah. Thank you, Chelsea. Okay, so over to Emma Lawton now. You may recognise her as she's our company trainer, and she was also a keynote speaker on the Express Day stage. She's a serial holiday qualifier, from weekend breaks to Prague to family holidays of a lifetime to Orlando. She's a multiple Christmas hamper winner, an Epsom Derby qualifier, a 100+ club member, and is fast approaching group leader too. So Emma, can you please firstly share your story and why you joined UW?
Oh, thanks, Gemma. So I was introduced to this business. Well, I joined the business in 2014. I knew about the business. I've been a customer already for 3 years. Things changed for me in 2014, and this business seemed to tick a few boxes, things that I was looking for. My background's been in IT, so I've worked in IT support for 16 years. I knew to earn a bit of extra money every month, I'd have to look outside of IT because I didn't have the time to climb the corporate ladder. I didn't want to be on call. I didn't want to take on any more responsibility with a young family. So when things changed for me, this business just worked. So I picked it up and I started running, and I've never really looked back.
You're the best of both worlds. So you're proof, Emma, that busy mums can make this business a huge success. What advice would you give to partners who may have overlooked a few busy mums like you on their lists?
Well, to be honest, Jem, busy people do really, really well with this business. Parents generally have to be really, really organised. So parents are good people to speak to about this business. Before lockdown and in the good old days when we used to go and sit on people's sofas, I used to make 2 appointments midweek. So we used to go out on a Tuesday and a Thursday evenings after my full-time job. And I used to go out for half a day on a Sunday. It was always possible for me to do this because I was so organised. And when I was first, when I actually signed up to be a partner, I was training for my first marathon, and we were in the middle of moving house. So needless to say, as well, alongside working full time. So we were so busy, and I think it will be an easy mistake to make. If I was on my own list, I might not have spoken to me, which would have been a massive mistake.
Yeah, it's all about structure, isn't it? And being organised, you're right. So how would you say the virtual appointments have benefited you being such a busy mum then?
Virtual appointments have been an absolute game changer for me. Even with an IT background, I was a little bit scared of it, I'll be honest. But you know what? We can now build this business from home. Do my children try to sabotage my appointments? Absolutely. But not only is it normal now to be working from home, it's kind of expected. So when I'm doing an appointment with somebody, they've usually got their children and I've got my children, and I can be looking after the children to a certain degree while I'm doing appointments. We've got a fully home-based business now. We don't need the overheads of petrol and time out, and you know what, we can do more appointments now. I was always restricted to those 2 evenings and a Sunday every week, but now I can do 2 appointments every evening after full-time work if I was in full-time work. So get on the virtual appointments. It's a game changer.
Wow, fabulous. So some amazing stories there. My challenge to you all is to contact a busy parent today, share these stories with them. They may be the next superstar in your business. So give it up, everyone, for Evan, Keris, Chelsea and Emma.